All right, here we go.
All right, here we go. A special episode
Yeah.
in honor of Chuck Norris.
Yes.
We just watched Lone Wolf McQuade.
At one of our remote studios.
Our remote studio.
Our remote studio, yeah.
We got our two friend guests, Jesse and Sean. We'll leave them unnamed.
Yeah, yeah,
The innocent to prove,
yeah.
protect the guilty. So we just sat through Lone Wolf McQuade, which
Right.
is a 1983 classic.
Very much like a Riff Tracks episode because we kept commenting throughout the...
That's how it always goes.
We were halfway through when I said, needs more evil midget. And then I think it was Sean said, I don't think you can say that on the podcast.
I think we're allowed to say that. But so it's just, I don't know. It was hard to follow. But
his presence,
there's some
whenever
hope.
he was in the scene, he owned the scene.
It 100%. I loved the evil midget.
Yeah.
And his magical chariot.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. The wheelchair that materializes out of nowhere.
Every time a car drives up, a helicopter,
Yeah,
they pan away, they pan back.
pan back, and he's out. Yeah, there was no.
That actually
Yeah.
might have been my favorite part of the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know, what else is there to say? They bury him alive.
They did.
He pulls out.
Yeah, and the Bronco just and covers him with dirt, and the Bronco just drives right on up out of there, and like it was nothing.
I realize that's not realistic, but I do love that scene.
Yeah. No, that's-
Oh,
Oh yeah.
let me see. Let's talk about what parts are realistic.
yeah. I think
we
the
can
girl,
talk about his daughter.
the strange kiss on the lips
Yeah.
and getting pushed in a car off a cliff and coming out with nothing but she's in the hospital for a day, but she has like a Band-Aid on her forehead.
Had a Band-Aid on her forehead, and then the next scene we see her in, no indication of any kind of wound on her forehead. So it's, continuity was not their thing. And
Well, the family heals quickly.
yeah, that's
No,
it.
that might have been
no, obviously that's the case. It's in the genes, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And by that you mean the blue jeans he wears everywhere and karate kicks people.
Well, I guess and we kind of buried the lead here. I mean, Keith Carradine. David Carradine, right, is the foe, not counting the evil midget, but he's the bad guy. Now, what were you saying? Was it this movie that you looked up that they in the fight scene?
That's what. Yeah.
So go ahead, Jesse. Tell us what were you saying.
So yeah, my wife looked up the trivia for it. Basically, the end fight scene, Carradine was actually hitting Chuck Norris a little bit more than expected, and Chuck Norris returned it, and basically they actually had some fight on the set.
So they got a legit. That was kind of a legit part. At least parts of it was a legit fight between the two of them, right?
So, yeah.
And then was it you also that talked about, or did you look it up?
I looked up the quote where
the quote about
they asked him what he thought of David Carradine's martial artist skills, and he said he's as good a martial artist as I am an actor. So kudos to Chuck Norris for knowing his lane and going away to cut down a guy.
That was good.
That was as good as a roundhouse kick to the face.
Yeah.
And we did hear one of my favorite quotes now about
Oh, what was that? Look it up.
They see the girl,
Look
the
it up
love
now.
interest riding.
bite in the ass and develop lockjaw.
How'd you like to bite on that, develop lockjaw, and be dragged to death?
Yeah.
Which I think is the all-time amazing
Bite that in the
quote.
butt, develop lockjaw, and be dragged to death. Yeah. And again, that was in relation to the love interest that showed up, right? She comes riding up on the horse, and so his companion says that in relation to the woman on the horse. I mean, so is it he's supposed to bite that in the butt? I'm trying. Was it the horse or the woman?
I want to point out though that the guy, Dakota, I don't remember the actor's name, but he had his shirt. He never buttoned a shirt above like his navel, and he had flowers on the shirt, but that was still a very masculine man. Like
Now, wait, which one is that? You're talking about the
His friend, the
retired.
one that said that.
Oh, the long-haired,
Yeah,
the older, long gray-haired
Chuck
guy.
Norris too. There was a lot of shirtless scenes in this.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris practiced shooting like I do in his backyard with a shirt off,
Rolling around.
rolling around.
And then what was it?
There's no joke though. You guys are making funny. I have done that before when it was super hot. By the way. There's video.
Eric Estrada clone or whatever. Is that what we?
The guy from Voyager.
Kato.
That's the actor's name.
Yeah. Well, in Voyager, he was Chakotay or whatever in Voyager.
I just looked it up. So
I just remember his name
Robert
was so
Belcher.
weird. It was-
Robert Belcher. Yeah, very normal. Did not expect that for his name, but
Yeah.
well, that was something.
Yeah. What
I enjoyed that,
were
though.
the other highlights of the movie? Let's see. It started right off, right? You know, with when he did the sweeping shot. with the-
Okay, so that was amazing. I think we have to describe that scene.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's this like keystone. So there's these horse rustlers, and as far as we know, this movie was present day of early 1980s.
Yeah.
And like 5 cops go to take on 20 guys, and he's off in the distance with a sniper rifle. They immediately get captured. Like it was just, and then he's up on the bluff. He fires his rifle twice, like blows up something. But then they tell him to come on down. So he comes on down. He takes his gun belt off, and then like 3-4 guys approach him, and he karate kicks all of them.
He waited for the line. Some guy kicked my father.
Oh, that's right. The leading
Yeah, what
guy,
was that?
who also didn't have a shirt on,
Oh, yeah.
for whatever reason, was.
He had a dust, but yeah.
Yeah. He goes, my father, a ranger kicked the teeth, my father's teeth out of his mouth or something like that, which then Chuck Norris immediately did.
Yeah. Kicked his teeth out. Yeah.
Takes the MAC-10, and then there's like 20 guys around, and he does this spin thing and fires the gun and kills all of them.
Yeah.
I loved it.
100% shot accuracy.
Yeah, some of them were like an elevation difference of like 8 foot or so.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
They were all.
this
they were all
was
everywhere.
Jedi level of hitting things.
Yeah.
And then he says to the guy, like father, like son, which I thought was amazing. So it does have a certain charm to it.
Well, yeah. Then my favorite part of that was when they then pan back and they show all just the
All the dead bodies.
all the random dead bodies at all the different elevations, just laying there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then I love the scene immediately after that. They're at some kind of the guy's retirement, out in the public, and there's all these guys and they're all dressed up. As I guess that's Texas Rangers dressed up. They got button-down shirt, but he comes in and he's sweaty and he stinks and he's got some beer.
Yeah.
And then he falls asleep.
And falls asleep in the crowd.
Yeah.
While I guess that's his boss or whatever. It obviously doesn't like him, right?
So I must have been real young when I saw it because I really thought it was a more serious movie, and they did play it straight. But I really don't see this.
Well,
as
the
that
organ
much.
music, that underscomes how serious.
They really highlighted the organ.
Yeah. I think Jesse, while we were watching, Jesse made some comment about the organ music because they leaned into that. They were definitely going in for the drama.
That and like the spaghetti western kind of theme music. Kind of.
So I did read that about this. This was supposed to be kind of a spaghetti western. Okay. So they were definitely working on that vibe. Well, good. I don't know. Anything else to say?
I don't know. I feel like we haven't talked enough about the love interest.
I did say that. I don't know who of you.
Pretty quick, that's for sure.
Well, we laughed about that through. All of a sudden, she shows up, and then shows up at his house. I mean,
It was like a half date, and
While her other guy,
he was
who
gone.
seems to be her love interest, she shows up, cleans up his house. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
His
He
house.
walks in.
Throws
He
a
walks
bunch of
in.
Stuff out, throws his beer out.
I know. I feel better about my place.
Well, no. I think we need to. Like, this place was
It was a disaster.
a disaster, a nightmare.
Yeah, I pretty much like my dream.
He just
home,
has
I think.
guns and empty beer cans around. So It sounds like heaven, but it was not. No furniture to speak of. Didn't seem to be anything. He comes home thinking that someone's like robbing his house, so he has his gun out, and there's this girl that he spent an afternoon with.
2 hours with the previous day or something.
I think they spent an hour and a half of that making out. So there is that. And yeah, she decides to move in with him. I didn't quite exactly, but she threw out all his beer.
Yeah, he comes in, he's fishing his beer out of the trash can.
And immediately throws out, like, she's got all this fruit and vegetables. He's like, that's not for men. Yeah. Men just need beer and steak, which I thought.
And then Jesse pointed out that there was a mixing stand, a mixer.
A mixer? Yeah, he had like a $500 mixer.
On top of the fridge.
I think Sean was right, though, because then in a later scene, I saw the mixer. And
had flowers.
All the vitamins right there up there.
Well, and before that, he had swept all the vitamins. Like they were on top of the fridge already. He just threw them off the fridge.
So they might have been there for the shakes that she was in.
But let's also talk about David Carradine and his karate demonstration. He was kicking guys like half his size. But he also had a cigar in his mouth.
He had an assistant that was pulling.
Took the cigar out because he had gloves on.
Yes,
and as soon as he's done.
We'll know we've made it as podcasters when we have an assistant that can put the cigar in and out of our mouth.
Not it.
Here we are. We have our cigar assistants with us.
You're right. It does. It did have a lot of charm, that movie.
I got a kick out of it every time with Carradine. He's about to get ready to fight. He's like, "I'm gonna look at you this eye, now this eye."
Yeah, he was. I think he might have been on something or whatever, but still, the overacting award definitely goes to the little evil midget.
Oh yeah. No,
he was chewing that up.
He just wasn't. He wasn't in the movie enough.
100%. And they didn't really explain like when he pops up out of nowhere, like, who's this guy?
Well, and he
Probably
gave.
I
think it was in the second scene where he gives the evil laugh. You know
And then the close-ups where it's stringy saliva as he's doing it.
Well, see, this predates y'all, but I grew up watching the Wild Wild West. I don't know if y'all ever saw that show.
I never saw it. I saw the remake they made.
Oh yeah, not the Will. Yeah, exactly, not the Will Smith version, but yeah, back in the day, the old show, and they had quote unquote an evil midget that was a continual recurring character throughout the arc of that. Miguelito Loveless was his name, but very similar kind of thing. And so
maybe that's what they were
talking
going
about.
off
We got a spaghetti western thing going on here. Then we've got the evil midget, and my mind was immediately going back to the Wild Wild West because it was played over the top. It was really good.
Well, that's good. What else we got? I think we got a lot of it.
I kind of wish at the end, instead of it being a helicopter, it had been a plane, and then at the end.
That was.
Well, yeah, we left that part out about
Yeah, that was great. At the end, the evil midget, the helicopter lands. They pan away. They pan back, and there's the wheelchair, which obviously didn't come out of that.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm just taking your helicopter," and he flies off into the sunset with his friend.
You can't leave me behind.
So is this probably where Walker Texas Ranger came from? They were just like, man, that movie's great. We got to give this guy a television series that's going to last for, I don't know how long that was on, 20 years?
It would have been about 8 to 10 years after this movie, though.
Oh, sure, yeah. They're not actually related, but I think
Were there
that's...
more of this? I don't know if there were many. I mean, there was a lot of Delta Force, but...
Delta Force,
There were no sequels.
Invasion USA was a great one.
Octagon.
The Octagon. Oh, yeah, that man.
And then Missing in Action. Come on. All the Mission Actions.
Yeah, Mission and that. Yeah, that he did 3 or 4 of those, right? 9 seasons. Started in '93, so exactly 10 years after. Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, maybe we cut it there.
All right, sounds good to me. Thanks
everybody.
for having us over, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we're out.